Namah Shivaya. Hello, children. Welcome back to our podcast about the life and lessons of the great Himalayan yogi Swami Rama. So far, we have followed him as a child who is chosen by his master, and as a student who gave up his food in service, and as a seeker who learned what illusion and truth really mean. But today, we look at something that affects all of us, even spiritual people, and that is ego. Now, Swami Rama shares some of his most humbling moments, including a mistake that left him swollen and speechless. But first, he takes us to meet a mysterious yogi who might be over 150 years old. Let's begin. In the high mountains of India during the summer months, an extraordinary yogi named Devraha Baba would visit a sacred shrine. Now, Devraha Baba lived most of the year in East Uttar Pradesh, but each year he would come up to the Himalayas. And now Devra Baba was known to be ageless. So Swami Rama heard many stories about him. Even Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India, he once said that he had met Devra Baba as a child. And the yogi had already seemed very old back then when he was a child. So now, decades later, Baba still looked the same, healthy, serene, and glowing with life. Now, you might not believe that people of that age are alive, but this is possible with yoga and spiritual practices. So, Swami Rama was deeply curious. When Devra Baba passed through Rishikesh, Rama made sure to meet him. Okay, Baba lived in a simple pine wood hut or sometimes in a tree house. He didn't allow students to touch him. Most of the yogis will not allow to be touched. So, but he gave talks about divine love, about spirituality. So, thousands came to see him. Even police, government officials, everybody would wait in line just to receive his darshan. Darshan is a sacred glance that a Swami gives to his disciples. When Swami Rama went to meet him, he asked this question. Even many of us might have this question: how have you lived this long? Now, Baba smiled and answered simply: happiness is the greatest wealth. Be punctual, practice pranayama. You all know pranayama. Pranayama is the all the breathing techniques that you do. That is called pranayama. So, Devra Baba was saying the secret to agelessness lies in the breath, because it is said that every human being's age is not decided in the number of years, but by the number of breaths he takes. One inhalation and one exhalation, that is the count. So the number of inhalations and exhalations will decide a person's lifetime. If for example a person takes 10 lakh breaths, just say for example, so if he takes that breath very fastly, the person will die early. But if the breath is taken very slowly, the same breath will continue for a very long time. For example, if a person is breathing for maybe 35 inhalations and exhalations in 1 minute, if the same person practices pranayama and he inhales and exhales only 16 times or 17 times, what happens? His lifespan doubles up. So that is the power of these breathing techniques and all. So that is what he said. And one more thing you should not forget, his first statement is happiness is the greatest wealth. If a person is happy, obviously he will he will be ageless. That is what he said. So, this is one important lesson that we all have to learn from this. And now, let's talk about another incident. As I told you, Swami Rama, even though he met great sages, he always had a big challenge within himself. That is his own ego. Because overcoming one's ego is not an easy task. You might think he is a monk, why is he having ego? Because every person will have ego, and overcoming that ego is the biggest challenge in a human life. So, what happened is once on his way to visit his master in Tungnath, he stopped at a holy place called Karnaprayag. Okay, there he visited a cave where the famous Swami Prabhat lived. Swami Prabhat, he was living in that cave. So on his way to meet his master, he stopped at that place. Now Swami Rama had begun training as a Swami Because of that, all the villagers treated him with great respect. Even if he is a younger Swami, smaller one, but still people will respect him. That is what happens in India, right? We respect all the Swamis and yogis. So, because of all this attention, his ego grew without even him realizing that his ego has increased so much. He didn't know that, but still he had ego. So, when he went to this Swami Prabhat, he greeted him, and now Rama expected that this older Swami should invite him to sit beside him. But Prabhat Swami just smiled and said, "Yeah, please take your seat." That means you have to sit with other disciples on the floor. Now Rama was so bold and he said, "Could you unfold your blanket so that I can sit beside you?" Because he was sitting on a folded blanket. So he said, "You just unfold the blanket. So beside you, a seat will be formed. I will sit there." Now Prabhat Swami still smiled and he replied him a quote from Yoga Vasishta. So, in that Yoga Vasishta book, there is a dialogue between Rama and Hanuman where Rama says, "Eternally, we are one and the same." Okay, Rama and Hanuma is the same. But as humans, you are still a servant and I am your master. So, you understand what it is? When we say every human being is the same, that doesn't mean you have to bring somebody and keep in your house. As per the society, there are some laws that we follow and they have to be implemented. Even though everybody is the same, everybody has their own place. That is what this line says. Now, Swami Rama felt a little embarrassed. But then Swami Prabhat told him a powerful story. And the story goes like this. A proud man once approached a spiritual teacher who was sitting on a high platform. Obviously, the teacher will be sitting on a higher platform. Now, the proud man approached here. Now the man said, "Can I sit next to you?" Now the teacher asked, "Do you know the duties of a student?" The man said, "No, please tell me." The teacher replied, "A student cleans, cooks, he serves, he purifies himself, and he listens so humbly." Now the man asked, "Now what about a master?" The teacher smiled and he said, "A master teaches." Now the man said, "Can't I skip the student part and just become a master directly without doing all this cleaning, cooking, serving things? Can I just directly become a master?" Now the teacher laughed. "No, you will hurt yourself and also others. You must understand this. Spirituality can tolerate anything except ego." And now, children, this statement holds good even for our regular education and everything in our life. We should never have ego. When you go to a teacher and you're asking something, you should always be humble. Only when you're humble, you can learn a lot of things from your teacher. You should never have this ego thing in your mind. Okay, so just what have you to do? You should always observe what you are doing. Okay, you should in every act of yours you should think, am I displaying any ego? Do I have an ego? If I have that, maybe what should I do to reduce it? What should I do to eliminate my ego completely? You should always practice it in your life. Whenever you are talking to your elders, your teachers, your parents, or anybody, when you're talking to them, you should never have ego, right? Okay, and now this story was told by Swami Prabhat to Swami Rama. Now, Swami Rama would remember this story later because he was about to be humbled even more. Now, let's talk about another incident. During the rainy season, when monks stay in one place for 4 months, that is called Chaturmasya. Otherwise, monks move from one place to the other, but during the rainy season, since it is difficult to travel, they fix to a particular place. So, in one such incident, Swami Rama was staying in one place for 4 months. He had many students. He was still young. As I said, he was with his Gurudeva right from his childhood. So, at a very young age, he was giving these pravachanams, the preachings. So, he was still young, but they built a raised platform for him to sit while he was teaching. Okay, so he began to feel proud. So look at how many students I have, he thought. So among the students was a quiet, gentle Swami who didn't seem to know much. He appeared to be an ignorant Swami. Now Swami Rama thought very little of him. He is a new student, I don't know. So in fact, he treated this man like a servant. He asked him to wash his loin cloth. You know the loin cloth? Swamis wear only that one. Okay, and he also asked him to fetch water and to do all these daily chores. So he was asking this person to do all those things. But that man, he was no ordinary man. He was actually sent by the Lord to Swami Rama, because Swami Rama always prayed to God, asking, "Oh Lord, please enlighten me, help me, oh Lord." This is why this is the way he used to pray every day. He was praying very sincerely. He cried when he was praying. So, because of that, God has sent that man to him. Then what did he do? He didn't realize that he was such a great man. He was asking him to do all these small, small things. So this was happening, and one morning, as they sat together near the Ganges river, Swami Rama was brushing his teeth, and he ordered that man, "Go and get me some water." Now the quiet Swami replied, "Keep brushing." And then something strange happened. Swami Rama lost all the awareness. 2 days later, villagers found him lying on the rocks. His face was horribly swollen. His gums were completely hurt. His jaw wouldn't move. You know the reason for this? He was still rubbing his mouth, not even realizing what he was doing. Since the Swami said, "Keep brushing," that has happened like that. He lost all his awareness, and he was brushing for 2 days continuously. And then his Gurudeva has come again and he said, "Get up." Now Swami Rama opened his eyes and he groaned. He said, "I can't move, Gurudeva." Then his master said gently, but he said very firmly, "That Swami was a great sage. God sent him to help you, but you treated him with arrogance. Now you have been taught a lesson." And then he added something beautiful. He said, "Look at the sky and start walking." Now Rama protested, "If I look up while walking, I'll fall." Then his master said, "Then you bow your head. Only the humble can walk safely. Ego and pride are the real stumbling blocks on the path of life." So, this is a very, very important lesson. In these days, every one of us should learn something from this lesson, right? A person who bows his head can only walk safely. What is bowing his head? Bowing his head means that he should be humble. Every person. Now, if you look at anybody, including yourself, look at anybody in the world, all of us have this ego thing, right? We always have ego in whatever little thing that we do, we have an ego. For example, if you're giving some 2 rupee coin to a beggar on the road, what do you feel? As if you are like Ambani, we are the richest persons in the world, and then we are as if we are giving him life, we are feeding him for his life. With this 2 rupees, you feel that when you give. I don't know if you feel that or not. I feel like that, right? But what is the thing that we should have? We are lucky and we are able to donate a small portion of our money to the other person, right? Be it 2 rupees or 10 rupees or 2 lakhs, whatever is the amount, we are able to donate because God has come in that form to take that money from us or take that help from us. I'm just giving an example of giving money to a beggar. It can be anything. Maybe you are helping your friend, you're helping your sister, you're helping your mom in her kitchen, or you're helping in daily household chores, you're going out to bring some food and vegetables. Anything that you do, if you have this attitude in mind, because God has given me this opportunity to do this, so that I am able to do this work, I am able to give some portion of my strength or my intelligence or my money, whatever that I have, I'm able to share it with others. Only this attitude will help in our lives, children. See, we should all learn from Swami Rama how great he is, because every one of us will do mistakes. But how many of us will have the courage to tell that to others? How many of us have the courage to accept that we have done a mistake? Swami Rama, of course, he has done these mistakes, but for the benefit of everybody in the world, for the benefit of everyone who is reading his book, they should learn from that. That is the reason he has openly told whatever mistakes he has done, right? Now it is our duty to learn from that. Now, children, that's the message of today's episode. Humility is strength, ego is a trap. So, the more we think we know, the less we learn. So, never think that we know everything. Once we have that attitude, we'll stop learning. So Swami Rama realized that true growth only begins when we drop our pride, we bow our heads, and become willing to serve and willing to listen. Ego always clouds our minds. It blocks our teacher's words. If the teacher is telling something and we think that, oh, we know more than the teacher, we will never learn. It breaks our connection with our own inner voice. Once we have ego, as I said, we should listen to our conscious. We can never listen to our conscious or our inner voice if we have ego. So we have to leave ego. And when we give up our attachment to name, fame, or to different praises that everybody else does, only then we become free. So in our next episode, we'll see some more incidents from the life of Swami Rama. Until then, remember, having a good breath is a gift. I already told you. uh, Based on our breath only our life is depending, so always try to do some pranayama. In that way you can control your emotions, in that way you can lose your ego, in that way you can live longer and healthier. And ego is not your friend, it's your enemy, so try leaving it. Bowing your head can lift you to the highest heights. Remember all these things, children. We'll meet you in the next episode. Jai Hind.